Hello subscribers, welcome to a live stream of Wizardry 8. We're playing the vanilla version on Expert Iron Man with a single character. We're still training our fighter. 138,000 experience. Keep training weapon skills.
These guys aren't as tough as they look. This is bad. Hey, that was pretty good.
It's pole arm training. Knocked it out. Special ability of the fighter. You don't get to see it very often, but it's cool when it happens.
So much for that.
59 pole arm. Hey Zombo, welcome in. How are you doing? The early bird gets the worm. Oh, he says the early worm gets the bird. Said it backwards.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Hey, Ageless, welcome in. How are you doing? The audio is off, huh? What's wrong with it? Too quiet? No, not at all. I'm not sick. In the morning, usually I'm congested a little bit. Early mornings. It usually clears up pretty quick.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Bats are retreating.
So much for that.
Come back. Sword 25. Really? It's coming in and out? Is it just the mic or is it the game music as well?
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Sounds like the volume was boosted too high. Okay. Let's take a look here. Maybe mic is too close. Let's see. You'll have to tell me, is this any better? I lowered it a little bit. Is that any better? Sounds back normal? Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't touched the audio, so I don't know. Somehow the mic is just picking up the sound more than normal. It's weird. Wonder if the humidity or something is different. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always weird when there was no adjustment, but something's different. Wow, we really need some training. wonder if the mic is pointing more directly at me. Let me try to move it up a little bit. Maybe it slid or something weird. Whoa, Zomble's on a 60 stream watch streak. Holy moly. Zomble says, maybe the RNG has become so self-aware it's trying to sabotage your stream directly. Yeah, trying to distract. It's trying to distract us in a fight. I get combat to end here.
So much for that.
Wow, 0 training out of that. That was a scam.
Look, creatures! I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
There we go.
So much for that.
42 close combats. Being stubborn with wanting to give us 60 on polearm.
This is the part where we fight, right? So much for that.
Here we go. 60. That's a languid. It's able to shoot at us in the jail cell and put us to sleep.
So much for that.
Those are probably the most dangerous enemy we can fight right now in the jail cell. Should have enough of a hit point pool to not have to worry about them, but you never know. This cloak is just AC, yeah.
This is the part where we fight, right? So much for that.
Nice thing is, as your skills finally start to get better, the training goes faster. You kill them quicker. He just says, how does skill experience work? If you attack more, you get more experience. Or is it based on the enemy kill? Yeah, it's based on attacking itself, not the kill. If you miss, the chance of a increase is the lowest. If you hit but no penetrate, that's the second greatest chance for an increase. And if you hit and do damage, that's the greatest chance of getting an increase. But each skill is different with what controls it. So you can right click on the skill and it'll show you, it says controlling attributes here. So like the sword skill is strength and dexterity. So the higher those are, the more likely it is when one of those actions I talked about happens that you'll have an actual increase. So if you're really low on attributes, you can still train any skill up to 100, but it'll just take a lot longer. That's how that works as far as the weapon skills. And then other types of skills like mythology increases just by seeing new monsters. There's a chance. And again, that one's probably based on senses and intelligence, I think. Yeah. So ours increases slowly on this character because our senses and intelligence is low. We only have 25 intelligence and 35 senses. That's it in a ballpark. And some skills are really weird. Like snake speed. That skill can increase just by getting into combat. Like nothing has to happen. If combat starts and something happens, it doesn't matter what it is, snake speed can increase. And then the other problem is those increases I was talking about there, they get split between different skills. So like we're dual wielding with the sword and the dagger. Dagger uses dagger skill, sword uses sword skill. So your skills will increase even slower because if you do get an increase, it picks which one it's going to increase. So it's characters that have like critical strike, like a ninja or a monk, they train their weapon skills so slow because the critical strike also get a piece of the pie for an increase. So it's hybrids are really weak because of that kind of stuff in general. They have low attributes. Sometimes there's multiple skills that try to increase in combat. A straight fighter is generally much better because of having high attributes right off the bat in the weapon skills. And then they don't have like critical strike or something like that hogging up some slot. Killing enemies faster is going to be less effective for skill grinding. Time-wise, Probably because then you have to rest, but we're wanting to get experience anyway. We're queuing up experience so that we can apply a whole bunch of level ups at once we leave the monastery. But technically, yes. If you're killing them because you're doing too much damage, you're having to then spend a little more time resting to get in to bring in new enemies. Some people actually, it's kind of absurd, but they'll heal the enemies. They have a full party. You can heal the enemies and keep them alive longer, and then just keep beating them. So it's all kinds of tactics you can use.
Pretty good.
Obviously, we can't do that with a single fighter character. I don't really like doing that anyway, but
This is just too much.
and then spells are even more complicated with how they determine increases. There's a slime right here. Blocking the door. Asia says, I like my toys to be extra durable. Boy, you're healing enemies. Yeah, torturing the enemies. For training.
So much for that.
Polearm, dagger, close combat. Nice. Yeah, see, close combat's also hogging up some of the increases on the weapon skills. Which, that skill you don't mind because it overlaps with all melee.
So much for that.
But the level scaling really throws a wrench into things with training. That's why a lot of people have a hard time with this game, because you have to know what areas will have what levels of monsters, because each area has a different level cap, where the monsters won't be any stronger or level higher. And if you haven't trained properly, and you're low level and they're higher level than you can end up having major problems. Especially on an Iron Man run where you can't save scum.
So much for that.
Torturing enemies? Absolutely not. Just giving them more opportunities to win, Aegis says. Giving them a break. So we almost have 150,000 experience. If we look here, level 2, level 3 will be 2,000 experience. Right now, I think our fighter could technically be level 9. Which is not good enough.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
And the backup before we run out of stamina.
Now this is just too much. So much for that. I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
There's one right there by the door. Let's consolidate these bullet stones.
Now this is just too much.
I actually kind of do want to get a little bit more throwing training. It'd be nice to be able to throw concussion powder and stuff like that.
So much for that. This is the part where we fight, right? So much for that.
38 throwing.
So much for that.
Oh, something dropped. Is it? More bullet stones.
Look, creatures.
Uh,
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Probably gonna use this stink bomb here. This guy snuck in while I was trying to get back in my cell.
So much for that.
Okay. Here's some bats.
This is the part where we fight, right? So much for that. This is the part where we fight, right? Pretty good.
I want being done there.
So much for that.
40 throwing, nice. There, Tax-a-lot. Welcome to the stream and thanks for a follow. Wizardry 8 fan, I'm assuming. See where we're at. 153,000 experience. 62 polearm, 25 sword, 17 dagger, 40 throwing. Close combat's 43. Coming along well. We've already cleared the upper monastery, so we can go out to Arnica Road at any time, but we're not ready. The higher level we are, the more resistant we're going to be to enemy special effects like sleep, paralysis, all that. Hey, Sever, welcome in. How are you doing? You made it to the 50 stream watch streak. Wow. Nice. How are you doing, Severb? I saw your Mind Flayer skill changing the appearance of your Baldur's Gate 3 character. But that was a surprise. To give you some psionic skills. Alright, bats.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Push to pull on for these. Two at a time? No, we're not doing that.
So much for that.
63 polearm. We're doing this solo run without stealth. I've completed it successfully with a character that had stealth, an expert Iron Man solo run. It was a samurai that we had gotten stealth on. But it's so much harder without having stealth. We're going to spend a lot of time on this character. Try to make it a success.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Need to move forward just a tiny bit.
So much for that.
Where'd the bats go? Come back. Okay, Aegis, we'll have a good day at work. Thanks for dropping in. Alright, what kind of slime is this? It's a green slime.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Ah, we killed him too fast.
So much for that.
You 1 to 5 damage with the bullet stone instead of 1 to 4 because our strength increase.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Oh, come forward. 42 throwing. That'll be good for later when we get devil dust and stuff like that to throw. It's especially useful in a solo run to be able to use a canned elemental for a backup, a good distraction in combat if you can get an elemental out there. And those things are so hard to use successfully. Pandemonium powder is also great. Can be a lifesaver. One of the big problems we always run into is limited inventory slots. You have to decide, what potions am I going to keep? What powders? Tumble says limited inventory means even nausea is GG. Yes. Indeed. Nausea is a huge problem in solo. Because that gagging where you lose your turn, that can even make you lose an equip. So if you try to do an equip to put something in your inventory, which takes a whole turn, just to put something in your inventory, and then you gag, now you're set back even farther. It's just, that's a terrible, terrible condition. It's not as bad as paralysis, obviously, but it's close. And nausea is air resistance.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Try to get some Tamail Pants +2 later. They're hard to find, but there is one guaranteed set of them, I believe. But that gives you water and air resistance on the legs, which is nice.
So much for that.
Yeah, for nausea. Air resistance. Like a product guide. Instead of Alka-Seltzer. Cats are definitely the most annoying to fight in this jail cell.
This is bad. So much for that.
Yeah, lizard men, one of the good things about them is they do get a bonus of 10% on water and earth. So water's paralysis, earth is knockout or unconsciousness. So the only kind of disabling type we're missing is air, which would be sleep. Sleep's a lot less severe because you can be woken up when you get hit, but it's pretty bad.
I hope these guys aren't as tough
Oh,
as they
nice. Yeah, these are really great for training our sling. They just sit here. Hey, Covania, welcome in. How are you doing?
I have nothing to shoot.
Hey, Toothless, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Nothing to shoot.
No, not equipped.
I have nothing to shoot.
That's fine. We're gonna move up.
This is bad.
You were practicing the original Ninja Gaiden, Covania?
So much for that.
47 throwing. It went from 43 to 47 from that. Nice.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Alright, there's one blocking. We're gonna have to get him to run away. Dutha says, I bet those crabs are saying, oh crab, we are getting killed through the door again.
I have nothing to shoot.
Alright. Well, we went through all the sling stones. Got rid of that weight. 47 throwing's pretty good.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Still missing. Slime time, it is.
So much for that.
64 polearm. They're the best for doing this training because sometimes they'll even drop items. They're the only ones that will, with us being level 2. And that gives us potentially a little more money to buy some more stake bombs before we head out. So we pretty much for sure could make it to Arnica, but the problem is I don't want to do it yet because we end up fighting Savant Troopers that are level 8. And if we get there at and we're only level 9, there's a really good chance they're going to paralyze us. So we want to be higher level. The other option is we don't go to Arnica at all. We go to Impani Base Camp. Problem with that approach is then you're fighting forever trying to get out of there because you have to rely on the Impani to help, which I don't want to really do either. It's a lot of difficulty until we get to probably level 15-ish. No matter where we go.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Savant Toasters, Feather says. It's funny you say that because Bard's Tale 3, has toasters and freezers that can fight you.
This is bad.
Yeah, we're still missing way too much.
So much for that.
Nice. That was good training. There's something there. What is it?
This is the part where we fight, right?
5 misses in a row. Definitely not
So much
qualified.
for that.
Definitely not qualified. Hey Cody, welcome in. Here's Johnny. How are you doing? Yep. The bats can do that too. They can actually bite you through the little window there with bars on it, even though it shows their body outside. It's quite silly. The slimes can do it too, which makes 0 sense with the animation. You're doing well, just waking up for your day off. Oh, nice. You got lots of plans today? Or are you just gonna relax? Day off. Tomorrow you have to work at an event. You're just gonna take it easy today? Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Is it pretty chaotic at events like that? It's a bullet stone. 2 sets of bullet stones. Nice.
So much for that.
66 pole arm. It's a bit nuts. You're very face blind, so you have to go through Instagram today and remember everybody's name before you see them. Yeah, that's rough.
I hope these guys
Like,
aren't
I
as tough
recognize
as they look.
faces immediately, but I'm terrible with names. I really struggle with unless I talk to someone a lot, frequently, you know. I haven't seen him for a long time. It's like, man, I don't remember. Faces I hardly ever miss. In fact, it kind of drives my wife nuts sometimes. We'll be watching a show and I'll be like, you know who that is? There'll be someone that I saw in a movie like 30. They were in a movie that was 30 years old. I'm like, that was that person. Interrupting the show.
So much for that.
Nice. 49 throwing. Getting there. Hey, Jaforn, welcome in. How are you doing? The grind, the window, a prison. Yes, it is. We are definitely in prison right now. But at least we're progressing. Unlike real life prison, where you don't really progress most of the time. That's what they need to do in real prison. They just give someone a sling with a bunch of bullet stones, and they can just sling stones out the window of their jail cell all day long. Cody says, I need to see a doctor about it, I think. Lately, I've had trouble recognizing people very close to me. Oh, gotcha. I see. So it's a real thing. Hmm. Is it, I mean, I'm not trying to pry or anything, and you don't have to answer or share any more about it, but I'm just asking because I'm genuinely concerned for you. Is it like people that you've known for your whole life too? Or is it just recent people that you're close to? Hey, DC, welcome in. How are you doing? He says my girlfriend and bestie have that condition. It's a real thing. Like I shaved my face and came out of the bathroom and completely freaked out my girlfriend one time. So she obviously knew it was you, but you just looked so different that she's like, wait a minute, it doesn't look like you, DC. Oh, your ex-girlfriend, gotcha. I mean, people definitely can look totally different, you know, with their hairstyle changes, facial hair changes, even just putting on weight or losing a bunch of weight can make someone look a lot different. Cody says more recent. A few weeks ago, my boss came to work unexpected, and I treated him like a customer until he walked around the corner. Also, I check IDs at work, and more I get told that I've checked the same person dozens of times. Okay, gotcha.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Covania says I can recognize people, how they move, or their scent.
Nothing to shoot.
You used all those up already? Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's got to be disconcerting.
So much for that.
I feel bad for you, Cody. Especially if it's something that, like, just kind of came on, you know, and it wasn't like a very gradual thing. Albania says I can recognize all my family members and a few friends on how loud and how fast they move. Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Cody says prosopagnosia is what my WebMD diagnosis calls it. If it is that, is there treatment for it or like tricks you can learn? I think there's just tricks you can learn to mitigate it. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of like people that have stuttering conditions. They can learn tricks to help, and seems to work quite well. You have no trouble with people if they have unique features like piercings or colored hair. Oh, okay. So it's more like just when people have similar features, your brain maybe isn't categorizing them. Everybody's kind of getting lumped into a group, and so then you just can't recognize them. I mean, there's even cultural things like even nationality things that can make a difference with identifying people, and it's so complex. I mean, when you stop and think about it, like cats or dogs or something, if you're looking at them, they look so much similar unless they have unique markings, And there's so many people, it only would make sense that humans could, have a hard time recognizing each other. There's just so many people. And online doesn't help, because you're seeing way more people than what you would see in real life. Because you just see people nonstop all the time. It's got to aggravate conditions like that. Performance says I have trouble identifying people I don't want to stop and talk to. You mean like it's someone that you don't want to talk to, but you kind of forget, and then once you start talking to them, you're like, oh, this is this person I don't want to talk to. Covania says, especially when they change their name. Oh, yeah. That's funny, Covania. That is confusing, honestly. I know Saztam changed his name to Lemonhead ST, but he put the ST in it for Saztam. Because we knew him for years as Saztam as the business. But yeah, when someone changes their name a lot, it is very, very confusing. Because your brain wants, it indexes things. And now all of a sudden, the index is not appropriate anymore. It's like wasting brain space, index space.
So much for that.
It's crazy. Probably the weirdest thing that I can think of for the brain and indexing is you can feel like you're almost there to get the name. It's this weird, almost like a deja vu type feeling where it's like, oh, I'm so close. I know I almost have that name, but you can't pull it up. And then all it takes is someone to say it. And as soon as they say it, your brain immediately finds the index, which is really weird. Like then everything's revealed all at once. At least that's how my brain works. I don't know if everybody's is that way. Covenia says, I have forgotten a few college, high school colleagues. You mean their names?
This is the one where we fight, right?
I just tell them that I was in a car accident and forgot bits of life. Gotcha. Cody says, when the D&D movie came out with a different pronunciation for Sastam, I felt like I had been scammed by this chat. That's funny. How did they say it? That's really funny.
So much for that.
It's more like Zaz than Saz. Gotcha. Zaz time. I wonder who created that. Does anybody know who created that character? That name? Because that's who we should ask. Because however they pronounce it, that's how we should be pronouncing it. That's what I try to do when there's a discrepancy in people, you know, call things different things. Like, well, let's ask the creator because they're the ones that came up with that. So they're the ones that has the right to say what it should be. Let's see where we're at experience-wise. 166,000. I have no idea. That's how you remember people, Covenia. Weird. That is one thing I'm blessed with, being able to recognize faces immediately. I guess it's a trade-off. I think I would rather have that than have 100% name recall. So usually once we get the primary weapon skill to around 75-ish in close combat, if it's around 50-ish, and you're not dual wielding, usually you can get a second attack. I do think level somehow has a play in it. We're not super far away from that. At least with the spear. Cody says, by the way, that D&D movie a few years ago was really good, not like the old ones. Really? What makes it good? Or what made the other ones not good? I haven't seen any of them. I just feel like I don't know, I don't like a lot of mainstream movies that the majority of the people like. I just don't have similar taste as most people. DC says DC Senior really enjoyed Honor Among Thieves. And I really loved the old ones, but the newer one was fun too.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
I feel like my expectations for that kind of stuff's probably too high. Like, I like my RPGs serious. You're in a world almost getting killed. I mean, you can't get much more serious than that. And when they throw comedy and stuff in, it's like, there's a time and a place, but not a fan. So I'm always afraid those kinds of movies are going to have that kind of stuff in them. Like, that's how all the superhero movies are. They're just too much meme for me.
So much for that.
Close combat, 48. DC says, you and me both, DeForte. And Covania says, Marvel writing ruined fantasy. DC says, I do love silliness while I'm watching it, but when I'm playing, I like it a bit more serious. Cody says the other ones are mostly ad-libbed humor, and I think they were just cash grabs. The new one has some great jokes, lots of great references, and it really feels authentic. Like the kind of scenarios you discuss at a table with dice. Gotcha. Yeah, the problem I think I have with comedy in certain things,
I hope these guys aren't as tough as
you
they
know,
look.
is it blows immersion. For me, it ruins immersion. And you can, some movies that's fine. It depends on the situation, but if it's something where you're really wanting to feel like you're involved in it, like Lord of the Rings, for example. You really want to feel like you're there in the environment and everything. And you don't want a bunch of cheesy comedy ruining that. Whereas, like, take something that's intended to be a comedy, like Big Trouble in Little China. That's excellent. Comedy, fantasy, it's meant to be goofy and stuff. But if a movie's meant to be serious, I don't want comedy unless it's tiny bit. Tiny bit's okay. But you could have zero comedy and I'd be fine with it. And then the ones intended to be comedy, yeah, of course, you definitely want comedy in those. Cody says it's more Princess Bride than Ben-Hur. Gotcha. Hey, Mark, welcome in. How are you doing? Stepped away only to catch the tail of the conversation, but this sounds like a Guardians of the Galaxy, Lord of the Rings comic relief, and strong agree. Yeah, I love Princess Bride's a great movie. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You just said Galaxy, reminded me of that. That's a great movie. Lots of silly humor mixed in. But if you're going after Mordor and trying to save the world and everything, let's not put much comedy. Sometimes you just want an intense story of immersion.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Mark says, I can't stand silliness and lowbrow slapstick in dramatic scenes and settings. Yeah, I agree. It's like a laugh track during a dramatic scene in a sitcom. Yeah,
Look at that thing.
exactly. I feel like that's kind of bad directing. Bad directors do that kind of stuff. Cody says, I like that D&D is learning more
So much
into, leaning more into the lighthearted side of things lately. Any atmosphere they try to build in the books usually falls apart at the table anyway. Yeah, I think that depends. I think that's mainly dependent on who's playing. If you get serious players together, that's all going to work fine. But if you've got some people that just are always wanting to be goofy, yeah, I agree. It's not going to work out. Feathered hat and bullets. So we have 68 polearm, 49 throwing, 48 close combat. We're doing pretty good right now. Bovania says, the tone that D&D is fostering is really meh. Mark says, oh, I'm definitely the opposite on that one. I can't play with chaos gremlins making jokes. Joke characters for the lulz. Yeah, that's how I am, Mark. Not a fan. I mean, I can appreciate people that like that. That's just not me. Bovania says, frivolousness and theater kid antics are meh. Yeah. Mark says, I far favor a serious, dark, gritty show that has moments of levity. Yeah. And you're not 100% that way all the time, but I'm that way most of the time. Good actors can make a huge difference too if we're talking movies with trying to pull off, especially trying to pull off comedy.
So much for
You know,
that.
that's a lot harder than what people give it credit for, I think. Mark says, perfect example. I ran a one-shot tabletop game for two groups of people. Basic objective was to take back a stolen wand of polymorph and restore the wizard it was stolen from. One group took it seriously and had an epic showdown at the Mage Tower with reveling apprentice. The other group tried to pickpocket the quest giver and broke the wand in front of the wizard because it'd be funny. Yeah. Yeah. There's some people that like that. And again, that's great if they like that. But I feel like if you have a mix of those types of people in a group, it's not going to work out well. It's kind of like someone that, if you're married to someone that's always late and you're early, that's a problem. Like, someone always early versus someone always late. That doesn't work out well. You got people that always want to just joke and mess around with someone that always wants to be serious. It's like, that's rough. Both groups had a ton of fun. We loved playing the game, but I was seriously gritting my teeth through the antics on the second one, Mark said. Cody says, I'd have tried to polymorph the loot into better loot. And Covania says, people that aren't punctual drive me up a wall. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about is there's just certain issues that are important to people, certain game aspects too. And it can ruin the fun for either side if they're not on the same page. But it sounds like in Mark's situation, that wasn't the case. It was more about the DM conflicted with the players on how they wanted it, which that's way more doable than players conflicting. We've got
I hope
roaches.
these guys aren't as tough as they look.
4 stones left.
I don't know these dudes.
Yeah, that's definitely something I would find out ahead of time if I was setting up a D&D groups or whatever. Ask the people. If you don't know them well, ask them. What type of experience are you looking for? Do you like more comic relief type, or do you want it to be serious? Kind of form the groups around that.
So much for that.
69 polearm, 50 close combat. Nice. Waiting for this. It may not happen. We may not get a second attack at level 2. I don't know. We'll see. Mark says, yep, great people I chat with frequently, but I don't play TTRPGs with them anymore. Yeah, exactly. Okay, monsters, where are you? Mark says, I saw a formula mentioned for number of attacks. Speed plus dexterity plus 0.666 times close or range combat plus 1.33 times weapon skill plus level times 2 times profession level up. MUL, I don't know what that is. We need to get it to 300 per second attack. Fighter and Lord is 4 for that other one. Okay.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Yeah, I'll have to see, try to calculate that in the future and see if that's true. A lot of what you read online is wrong. I don't know if these can hit us or not. I think they have to be short range. Yeah. Way too dangerous. What are we hitting? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Hey, Igloo, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm trying to see if that formula makes sense to me.
So much for that.
It kind of makes sense. It's a forum post, yeah. Yeah, conceptually, I think it makes sense. At least the combinations they're doing there. The two that I'm a little skeptical about is speed. Dexterity, I know for sure. In fact, I feel like dexterity has a bigger impact on it. So I'm not sure that speed plus dexterity. And then the multiplication with the close combat's definitely going to be about half what the weapon skill is. Actually, I feel like You need it to be higher. I don't feel like half close combat. Like, I don't feel weapon skill is twice as much as the close combat. Because generally, I feel like around 75 of a primary weapon skill and 50 of close combat. As long as you have about 80-ish dexterity, that's when you start to get that second attack. But I don't know. Higley says, I don't do math. I'm just glad when I finally get an extra swing. Higley says, in my game now, I'm just using triple shot crossbows. Sometimes they attack 4 times. Yeah, that means you're getting an extra swing with it.
So much for that.
There's some weapons that are special, like Bloodlust, double shot sling, double shot crossbow, triple shot crossbow. They guarantee to give you an extra swing. Swings are different than attacks. The swings are randomized, except for on those special weapons. Then they guarantee to give you an extra swing. And then the others are whatever it says your maximum number of swings is. It rolls a dice between 1 and that number. You're probably getting an extra swing with the triple shot crossbow sometimes. If you look at it, it probably says you're going to get two swings. So that's random between 1 or 2. And then the triple shot gives you a guaranteed extra 2 swings. So that's why you always have at least 3. You get up to 4. So if you got your level up, your weapon skill, dexterity, and maybe speed according to that, then you could probably get 5 swings with it. Should be nuts. If you use good ammo, sometimes it even kills the stuff with missile shield. Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Still missing.
So much for that.
There we go. 70 polearm. 51 close combat. Since our level's low, I just don't think we'll get a second attack.
This is the part where we fight, right?
Damage scam again. We'll be doing 4 damage, not 2.
So much for that.
See how much experience we have. 177,000. I'm gonna turn off Berserk in the next few fights and see how often I hit. Come on, monsters. There we go. Alright, we'll go with a normal attack.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they
See how
look.
often we hit. Zero misses.
So much for that.
So we had 0 misses with Berserk off. Overall, I'd have to count the number of swings, the number of attacks we're doing versus the damage output. For things like roaches and low hit point things, Berserk does make sense, but against like brigands and bandits and things that have more hit points, we'll probably come out ahead using Berserk. It's supposedly Berserk is -3 to hit and penetrate, but I don't think that's true, because in Wizardry 6 and 7 it's -4, which is 20%, and in Wizardry 8 supposedly it's a little bit less, so 15%. We're missing more than that, so there's something else going on there. Yeah, I don't think it's more complicated than that.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
There's a miss. Two misses. 3 misses.
So much for that.
72 polearm. See how much money we have. Not much. We could get 1 stink bomb. These cure poison are worth a bit. This stuff I don't want to sell until I can identify it. Oh, we got a bunch of cure poison. Okay. Get some more stink bombs. Yeah, I'll probably have to end up resting. Get more potentially. We'll wait to pull Gregor.
Look, creatures!
Got some new stuff in stock.
Okay. Nice. Okay. 9 bombs. Feel pretty comfortable right now. Flash powder, moderate heals, light heals. Okay.
Come back.
Bye-bye!
180,000 experience. Well, I think it might be time that out. Pull Gregor. Ooh, that wasn't good. Now we lost our turn there.
Look at those things!
She may have made it back up with that extra delay. May have to do that again. Yeah. Okay, well, have to do that again. Go back here and rest.
Look at those things!
Alright, now she should be in the hallway where we can sneak by her. I've already cleared the upper monastery, so we're ready to go straight out. Yeah, where you got that? Let's see. Make sure nothing spawned in here. So there are seekers in here. I don't think it's worth fighting them. Alright, let's sneak as far as we can. Alright, it's the wasps. I don't know the direction they're going. Take a look at their bodies, what direction they're facing here. I think they're going away from us. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, regardless, we're going to apply our level ups. Seven. Level 8. Level 9. Alright, 9 levels we got. Cody says, be cool if you could throw a rock to distract them. Yeah, that would be nice. Looks like I sold the concussion powder. I want to see if they're going the other way. So I'm going to back off. That one's facing us. They're coming toward us. So I'm going to take a quick break here. And we'll be back. Just a few minutes. Okay, everyone, I am back. Let's see if we can try to avoid these wasps. Letting them travel down the path, hopefully the opposite direction. Let's go look. They're still there. Okay.
Look, creatures!
We're just gonna have to fight them, I think. I don't think I can make it to that other side of that rock there. They're definitely facing us. They're coming this direction. Just don't know if I can get both of them. I don't have a granite potion, which sucks. Wonder if I could blind them.
Relax, this fight will be easy.
Okay, we did blind one of them, which is good. Now I'm gonna do a stink bomb. Cherry bomb's not the best here. You're better off attacking almost. Gosh, if we miss though. I don't like this either way. Because this is not going to kill him. Maybe I should try to run.
Look at those.
I don't know if I can outrun this. Let's see how many hit points. Oh gosh, there's so many hit points. Yeah, we can't outrun it. Okay. We're just going to have to take a Hail Mary here and do a Berserk swing. Paralyzed. Second hit, we got paralyzed. I can't believe it. And we're 4 levels higher? Yeah, 4 levels higher. It's GG. This is why I didn't want to fight these. Their paralysis chance is like... Well, we got out of it, but it's too late. There's one left. It's gonna paralyze it again. Okay, we blinded it. Let's see if we get to go first and get a swing in. Nope.
No.
How many hit points does it have? 34. I just can't deal with it. It's too much paralysis. Yeah, we got lucky there. He had done 80 damage to us. But luckily we got out of the paralysis just in time. Yeah, we had terrible, terrible, terrible luck with getting paralyzed on that second hit, but then we got lucky that we got out of the paralysis. Probably still going to be in the exact same spot. I was trying to give him space so he'd move. No, he's right there. Okay. Let's see if I can do a sneak attack. Man, I almost want to blind him. Unaffected. It's just so impossible, guys. Paralyzed on the first hit. It's ridiculous.
That's much better.
Okay. 10 hit points. We just need to do 10 damage, but I think he's going to end up paralyzing us again. We do have 2 attacks. Let's see if he paralyzes it. Yep. His paralyzed chance is like over 50%. Wow. It's unbelievable how much it can paralyze, which it shouldn't be that high. And I'm 3 levels higher. But we made it. Okay, that's the only big threat we have to worry about on Arnica Road. I'm going to go grab this all pike, because that's a huge upgrade over this dinky spear. Scam. It is scamalized. Unbelievable. And they never miss. Alright, let's see here.
Look, creatures!
How many we can get there. 3 moderate heals, that's good. Finally got an upgrade on our legs. This is what I came back here for, though. This is a huge upgrade. 14 to 32 damage now. Now we don't have the dinky 2 damage low bar. Let's see.
Looks trapped.
Oh, life buckler, interesting. That gives us plus 10 dexterity. Could use that with a shield or with a sword. Okay. $87 with it. Oop. Let's put our helmet back on. Alright, let's see if we can make it to Arnica. We've run into 0 random encounters so far. Makes me think they're all up here. Where are those? Okay, those are weak. I just kill them from here just to so I can keep sneaking around the corner. Otherwise they'll tattletale and I won't be able to sneak. Alright, we made it. First milestone. And then we just have to avoid fighting Savant Troopers, orbs, or drones. Any of those paralyzers.
Company.
Here, from that course. Of course. Like I said, Well, mostly it's been great. Look me up again, alright? I've always got a job going and I can probably cut you in. It's about time. Look.
Bye-bye.
Too wordy, Miles. You're too wordy. Alright, let's do this fight while all these guards are here.
I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
Hey, Jixer, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Thank you, thank you. These guys can't paralyze us. That's what matters. Can't knock us out, can't paralyze us. They can just do straight damage. Nixon says, so crazy how many ways there are to play Wizardry 8. Yes. Absolutely. So much replayability. Each time we get hit, we can get some training on our iron skin skill, which is nice. Jixer says, but I guess going solo, you don't get to hear the party banter. No, you sure don't. She still talks and acts like people are there.
So much for that.
I don't think we can see this with our senses being so low.
Something over there.
Wow, I'm surprised. 35 senses.
Company. Let's try.
Come on.
Yes, that's much better. Bye-bye.
Okay. I have another sling? Yes, I do. Okay. So we're gonna get a diamond epi. So we compare the all pike. It weighs 12. 11.5 damage on average. This weighs 13.5. 13.5 damage on average. So this does 2 extra damage on average. If we're berserking, it would be 4 extra. And it's heavier. It's always swing, which has a greater chance to hit those that have good dodge compared to the thrusting of the all pike. Has better penetration but less chance to hit. So I am going to buy this. It'll be good against the rogues because the rogues are really hard to hit.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's go get the necklace of endurance. Oh. Yeah, troopers. We don't want to be fighting those. Paralyze. Gosh, I don't know if I don't think I'm going to be able to see him actually.
I think it's locked.
I guess we'll try. Wonder, I don't think it has any impact. There's a necklace right here.
Found nothing.
Can't switch to this, so we have 35. That's a tiny boost. Surf roleplay is done with? Oh, so many leaves. I have 3 big trees in the front lawn, and it looks great. But the leaves, oh yeah. That's rough, Covania. I mow mine. I just keep mowing multiple times till they're finally destroyed. Takes like 6 passes, 6 separate cuts on 6 separate days, I mean. Pretty sure I can't see this. And you can't get detect secrets as a fighter. It's right there. Keep looking. Use a leaf blower, but the wind is too strong. It's easier to rake. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can see this. That really sucks. Okay. Shall move on. There's one on the bed there too, but I'm sure we won't be able to see it either. It's probably not worth getting up there. I guess it's possible that it has a different detection chance. You're super pale. You normally go out about half night. Oh, you go out at night, I see.
Found nothing.
Yeah, there's a necklace right here. But you can't find it. Shake covers. Okay.
I think it's locked. I hope these guys aren't as tough as they look.
I'm only get one at a time. Oh, I'm doing sword. Yeah, we don't want that. I didn't know these guys could put you to sleep. Yeah, they got too many attacks. We're not doing this. Too many attacks with sleep capability. Plus, they can fit in the hallway, which is annoying. 2 at a time.
Look, creatures.
We have way too many attacks. Yeah, normally these guys are not hard. But our fighter's just so weak to get put to sleep. 25 air. It's horrible. Horrible. Can we run yet? The hallways are too wide. I think I could fight one at a time right here.
Now this is just too much. Hey, I'm wounded.
And now maybe we can actually get an attack in.
Now this is just too... Now this is just too much.
Oh, that's a scam. This guy's in the wall. That should not be possible. They love to cheat. I'm gonna get back here and see if we can prevent two from coming up at once in this hallway. The game loves to cheat. Yeah, it's still cheating. Alright, we'll see what we can do here. It wouldn't be a hard fight if they didn't cheat and do two at a time. Ah, the Lay brother just died. I think. Or wait a minute. Did he kill him? Yeah, the Lay brother died.
So much for that.
You're moderate. Okay, this one's much harder. I can get a sneak attack in at least. And this ain't good, does it? I don't think this guy can run out of stamina.
Much better.
What? Are you serious? There's one right here, look. He had run here.
Relax. This fight will be tough.
Scam City, guys. That one never reset back to where it was supposed to go. Yeah, he's blocking the hallway. Fixer says, unreal, that was. Alright, well, we survived. Miraculously. That'll be a good place to stop. Go down here. See Lord Prophet.
Company.
It's been should you? I hope
Bye-bye.
it's good.
Alright, let's get rid of this junk. Alright.
I hope.
Bye-bye.
Good place to stop. So yeah, we've made progress. We survived a almost certain party wipe. So thank goodness for that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.